everyone, and welcome. Today we're decoding a subject that's as complex as it is absolutely essential, and that is trauma. We're going to explore the biological reality of post-traumatic stress disorder, but more importantly, we're mapping out a real, hopeful roadmap to recovery. The whole goal of this explainer is to understand the actual mechanics of our brains so we can better support the people who need it most. So, what exactly happens when the past simply refuses to pass? The reality is, a lot of us are going to experience some kind of traumatic event during our lifetimes. And sure, we often manage to get through it without long-term consequences, but for millions of people worldwide, these experiences stick around. They linger painfully and seriously interfere with daily life. Okay, let's dive into this and look at the actual science behind what's happening. Section 1. The brain facing trauma. The biological foundations. All right, here is the absolute most crucial point of our entire explainer. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is absolutely not a personal failure. It's not a weakness of character, no way. We really need to deconstruct that myth right now. It is, in fact, a profound biological malfunction of our survival mechanisms. Think of it like this. Your brain is simply trying to protect you after a dangerous experience, but the mechanism, well, it gets jammed. It is purely 100% physiological. Section 2. A blocked biological alarm, the fight or flight loop. Now, what's really interesting here is how this alarm breaks down inside the body. Let's walk through it. Step 1, the HPA axis immediately fires off signals. Step 2, that message wakes up the parasympathetic nervous system, the network that regulates your organs. And finally, step 3, your adrenal glands literally flood your body with a massive cascade of different stress hormones. It is a terrifyingly fast and effective chain reaction. And this chemical flood, it causes some extreme and immediate physiological changes. Your heart rate spikes, your breathing accelerates, your muscles tense up to the absolute max. Your body is prepping for a fight. But the real problem is that even after the crisis is over, even when you're completely safe, these incredibly high levels of stress hormones can just kind of stagnate in the body for days. That's what causes that relentless nervousness and those vivid nightmares long after the actual danger has passed. Normally, all this intense chemistry dissipates after a few days or maybe weeks, but for a small percentage of traumatized folks, the alarm just refuses to shut off. A major medical theory points directly to the cortisol loop. Cortisol, which is the super powerful stress hormone, continuously triggers the fight-flight-freeze response, so the brain remains artificially stuck in survival mode. And as you can imagine, that drastically reduces its capacity to function normally on a day-to-day basis. Section 3. The 4 categories of symptoms. The manifestations of PTSD. Science groups these biological malfunctions into 4 main categories. First up, we have intrusive thoughts, meaning the person suffers from terrifying flashbacks or dreams. Second is avoidance, where the patient basically flees anything that might awaken memories of the trauma. Third, a thick, heavy fog of negative thoughts and feelings settles in. Think fear, anger, and sometimes profound guilt. And finally, reactive symptoms, like uncontrollable irritability or severe sleep disorders. Of course, it's worth noting that everyone is totally unique here. Not everyone has all these symptoms, and certainly not at the exact same intensity. 1 month. That is the crucial benchmark duration. When these intense symptoms persist for more than a month, doctors start to very seriously consider a PTSD diagnosis. It's also really important to note that certain risk factors definitely come into play here. We're talking genetics, pre-existing mental health conditions, intense and continuous stress, but also, and this is incredibly important, a glaring lack of emotional support right after the initial shock. Section 4. Isolation in the face of triggers, the emotional reality. And this brilliantly illustrates the infernal mechanics of triggers. Imagine the smell of a simple campfire. For most of us, it's just a mundane, harmless sensation, right? But for a brain that has been traumatized by, say, being trapped in a house fire, that exact same smell of smoke isn't just a casual reminder. It instantly activates the exact same neurochemical cascade as the original event. The person isn't just remembering the tragedy, they are physically feeling that identical panic and powerlessness in real time. So, faced with such unpredictable and terrifying triggers, what would you do? You'd probably try to avoid them at all costs, right? Well, this constant, exhausting effort of avoidance inevitably leads to profound isolation. People suffering from PTSD eventually just withdraw from the world. They feel ignored, misunderstood, and totally invalid. It's really a heartbreaking sensation. It feels like your own life has been brutally put on pause, while you just have to watch the rest of the world continue to live and move forward without you. Section 5. The Path to Recovery, Hope, and Solutions. Okay, let's look at the actionable roadmap to healing. The essential gateway here is an evaluation by a mental health professional. From there, a whole wide range of resources opens up. Psychotherapy proves to be extremely effective in helping patients map out and actually diffuse those triggers. Plus, certain medications can be prescribed to make the intensity of the symptoms more bearable while doing that hard work. But what's truly remarkable is the impact of self-care. Methods like mindfulness and regular physical exercise are powerful, proven tools to help individuals regain control over their bodies and essentially rewire those biological responses. Section 6. The Power of Empathy, Supporting Recovery. If you notice these signs in a friend, your role is absolutely fundamental here. So the crucial point is to offer unconditional social support and total acceptance. You want to express pure empathy without a single trace of blame for reactions that might sometimes seem, well, disproportionate to you. Validate what they're experiencing. Tell them simple but vital things like, "I believe you." And finally, when you sense they're open to it, gently and tactfully encourage them to seek a medical evaluation and treatment. You can literally be a huge part of their healing journey. It is precisely for all these reasons that post-traumatic stress disorder is so often called the secret wound. Think about it. Unlike a broken leg, there's no cast, there is no visible bandage, no external scar to show the outside world the fierce and painful struggle that's taking place in the shadows, deep inside the biology of the brain. But here's the thing. By understanding the actual mechanics of trauma, and by actively choosing to offer our empathy, we all have the power to break this toxic silence. The path to healing absolutely exists, and it opens up so much faster when we decide to listen and support each other. So I'll leave you with this final thought. If the wound is invisible, does it really have to remain?